Welcome to the Financial Advisor's Advisor, brought to you by Elite Consulting Partners. It's the only podcast offering unfiltered guidance and direct advice for all things concerning financial advisors, RIAs, and the practitioners in the wealth management business. Learn more and subscribe today at eliteconsultingpartners.com/podcast. And now, here's your host, the Financial Advisor's Advisor himself, Frank LaRosa.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is Frank LaRosa, CEO of Elite Consulting Partners, and I am the Financial Advisor's Advisor. As always, and on a special day today, happy Halloween, my right-hand man, or today my right-hand penguin, Dale Dempsey. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Do penguins talk? How's it going, everybody? Yeah, it's good to be back.
Today. Hey, thanks everyone for joining. If you're new to the show, welcome. This guy right here, Dale Dempsey, doesn't always dress up in a penguin costume, but today he is. We'll get into that in a little bit. If you are a returning listener, thank you very much for coming back. We appreciate all the likes, all the continued follows on Instagram, franklarosa.elite and eliteconsultingpartners.podcast. We appreciate it. Today's sort of an interesting show. We're going to cover a little bit of everything, but most importantly, and sort of fortuitous that you dressed up in a penguin costume, right? It's really all about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable as it relates really to social media. But I wanted to just sort of take a quick step back. Dale and I, for those of you who are following us, just came back from St. Louis, where we did amongst other things, we had some great visits with some RIAs, which we had posted when we were traveling. Some great meetings with some wonderful individuals, brilliant men and women. But we spent the weekend with an even better group, and that was a group that I'm part of, which is called the Arte Syndicate. It's run by Andy Frisella and Ed Milet, two awesome individuals, both men I look up to tremendously. And they did a live event. There was 1,500 people or so in St. Louis, and really was about pushing the envelope of everything that you do, becoming better at what you do and paying it forward. And if you're doing something really well, look to the person next to you that you can help and help them, and look to the right and help them, and really just leveling everybody up. And it is interesting that we went to that because, for me, doing what you're listening to me do right now, which is this podcast and now video on YouTube, is really uncomfortable for me. And it was for a long time. And I want to give a shout out to two of my brothers from the syndicate, Chris Saunders. What's up, brother? How you doing? And Tony Watley, who does a podcast called 365 Driven. It's awesome. And the two of those guys, who I didn't know 6 months ago, really have inspired me to push the envelope of what makes me uncomfortable. And so I want to thank them, and really just everybody needs guys like that push you to make you uncomfortable. And I know I'm pushing you to put a penguin costume on, but that's not the direction you want to go. But
you didn't. You have to push me too much.
It was pretty easy to get you to just in a penguin costume. It was an easy ask, I guess.
It's fun, yeah. My kids. I sort of have that mentality because I have younger kids.
Right.
But right. So, what was interesting this weekend, I noticed a lot of people said that they were uncomfortable getting in front of the camera or the phone, or however it's done today. But everybody was encouraging each other to do it because in this day and age it's necessary. You have to get comfortable with that sort of thing, especially in the financial advisor business.
Yeah.
Meeting with clients. So how did you do it? Before there was cameras and all that stuff, everything we have now.
There was cameras, right? And and it's also on this whole thing is really
before the internet.
Before the internet, exactly. When I started in the business, no one really knew what the dot was and .com, right? We didn't really understand. We still had AOL. It just came out. Okay. It was like on a phone line, and it took forever. But it was interesting because when we came back from St. Louis, we went to sort of back-to-back meetings with 4 different financial advisor practices. All 4 were multi-million-dollar teams, and to a team, we all ended up talking about. We were with, for those of you who were following, we were with the president of Summit Financial Network, Marshall Leeds, and his marketing director, Rob Crow, and they're awesome. And to a team, we ended up getting on a conversation about what are they doing in today's technology market, technology sort of wave to help grow their businesses. And all 4 teams had different personalities. And it was just interesting that when we started talking about, and they're all about my age, right? So in our late 40s, actually my birthday was on the 29th, so 2 days ago, so I was 48 years old, feeling old. But anyway, we all started talking about social media and Instagram and Facebook and now YouTube, right? And
right.
Almost like YouTube now and Instagram is the new seminar. And this is why I wanted to really have this type of conversation, because I was talking to one of our clients who really has and I actually, because it's such a unique hobby, I can't even say it because I don't want it to it's all confidential meetings. But it's such a unique hobby that if he just did this hobby with a camera, with a video camera in front of him and posted that stuff, he would get so many interested clients because he's brilliant and he has this really interesting, I wouldn't say crazy, but interesting hobby that people would enjoy. And so to your point, when I was younger and did seminars, which is how it was sort of done, and it's still done today, but I don't think to the same level. Back in the day, in the early 90s, you did a seminar and you filled the room with 20 people, 10 people, 200 people. And I didn't have any problem speaking in front of those people. Like I do now, or not, I'm getting better, but like we turn a camera on or a video camera on, and I don't think it's going to go out to the public, and I freeze a little bit, right?
Right.
About being uncomfortable.
Right.
But the point was, you did these seminars because you didn't talk about giving each individual person an investment advice. The whole point of the seminar was to get the people that came to see you interested in you as a person. Like, oh, I can work with that individual, right?
Right.
To like you.
Sure.
And today, the main goal of, if you're a financial advisor and you're using Instagram or Facebook, you should be striving to get people that are following you to know you as an individual, post some things that are about business related information, but also know you as an individual person. Because for the most part, at any financial services institution, the products are the same, the services are more or less the same, the technology is the same, the statements all look the same, they're all pretty confusing. And so the reason why clients do business with financial advisors is for the personal connection, right?
Right.
And so what better way to show your personality to your clients and your future clients than posting pictures of you at a client event with your clients, right? One guy does events, I'll just call them events, with some of his clients. All he should do is turn the video camera on and start taking video. And he'll see other people that are following him that want that, what I call the Jerry Maguire relationship, right? I want that relationship with my financial advisor. We were talking to another client of ours who hasn't moved yet, but they're making the decision to move, and they do a huge clam bake. It's huge, right? They're going to get t-shirts made, they're going to do all these different things. And they should be posting that stuff on Instagram, on Facebook, really having people start following them. And it's a little uncomfortable for them because they're sort of middle-aged, right, like me. But that's really the wave of the future.
So what did you do to get yourself, or even before you do a post or something? Is there tips or tricks or?
Yeah, my dealing with my brain freeze and running through the monotony of things that go through my mind about what people are going to think about what I'm going to say, and does it sound correct or incorrect? Am I speaking clearly enough? All of that mind F stuff, right?
Right.
It was not easy, and so with video, what I started to do, and again, for those of you listening, I'm not an expert at this thing. I just started in it, right? But the more I do this and talk to you all about doing this, the better I get at it, the more comfortable I feel, the more I'll do it. But what I started doing for video is just taking video of myself at my boxing gym hitting a heavy bag. I'm a boxer. I love it. It's what I do. It's how I clear my brain. And for me, also as a sort of football coach, youth football coach, I used to watch film all the time. And I looked at it like, well, I'm just watching film, right? I'll film myself. I'll watch my foot movement, my hands.
Sure.
And oh, by the way, I'll throw it up on Instagram.
Right.
Right.
So you went to a place where you're comfortable.
I went to a place where I was comfortable, and then just sort of close my eyes and hit,
Record.
Go or record or wherever you hit to post it on Instagram, and I got all these people that enjoyed what I was doing, and it made me feel good. That was one way, and then in terms of talking on video, that was a big deal for me. So it was suggested by Chris and Tony, right, who do it all the time, and they're awesome. Just put yourself in a position where you're comfortable to start talking. So I'm comfortable in my car, drive a pretty nice car, and I love driving it, so I just started hitting play one day. And I would come out of my boxing gym with real clarity. If everybody should have a place where they find clarity to help them with whatever it is that they're going through. For me, it's the boxing gym. And I would always come out of the boxing gym with all these ideas and thoughts, and so finally decided, I'm just going to turn on the recorder and record a couple of thoughts.
Yeah.
And it was really comfortable. And what I can say is that what I'm working on today is getting the time between the thought in my head, right, and hitting the play button, because I'm trying not to overthink things. I'm trying to narrow that time to less than 10 minutes.
Right.
Get these thoughts in my head, and then I have to work myself up to hitting record.
You think that has anything to do with just practicing and throwing yourself into it? I would think it would.
I think it has everything to do with
it,
right?
Okay.
It has everything to do with, and confidence, right? Confidence that I'm not going to sound like a total idiot.
Sure.
Right, because nobody wants to do something if they're gonna be an idiot.
Am I flying in the face of that?
No, because you feel great about it. You have total confidence of sitting with me as I'm talking to you in a penguin costume.
I can say that, and maybe I exude that.
And the fact of the matter is, I totally forgot you were in a penguin costume for a little while. Thanks for reminding me.
Okay. Okay.
But it's a confidence thing, and the more I did it and do it, the more confident I get, which is what I was told, right? Which is what they kept telling me. Chris Saunders, come on, brother, you got to keep doing it. And so I just started doing it, and I would think about, if Chris was sitting next to me, right, what would he say? Well, he did this once. He just took my phone and just started recording a video. And in the middle of the hotel, people were walking around. He didn't care. It was awesome.
I saw an Instagram post from LaRosa recently,
right,
where he's saying happy birthday to his mom, and he had a selfie stick. And I was thinking to myself, wow, if The Rock can get a selfie stick and sing happy birthday to his mom on Instagram, yeah, I should be able to do that.
Toughest dudes out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's the highest paid actor out there. He's got a great brand. I was sort of thinking about it. So it doesn't really do. Yeah, go ahead.
It was interesting that you're talking about the Rock, and it brought me back to a conversation we had when I was with our syndicate group, which is about 120 sort of entrepreneurs that are, again, really trying to push the envelope. We had an event in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and one of our guests was Kevin O'Leary. He's the guy from Shark Tank. Right?
Yeah.
And so he came up, and we were talking about this question about social media, and he used to think it was high paid ads, banners, and all this glossy images and all these things, and then he realized that what really drives traffic and really drives people to have interest in you, which is what an advisor, which is really at the end of the day what you're trying to do. You're trying to have people that don't know you to have interest in doing business with you. What he said it was the raw stuff that people like the most in all of his companies. Posting the raw stuff. It doesn't mean necessarily brushing your teeth in the morning or whatever, but it means showing your clients or showing the world sort of what you're doing in preparing for, this is not him saying, this is me saying it, but preparing for a client meeting, right? What are the things that you go through with the client meeting? What are your thoughts on the plan that you're about to present to your client? What are your thoughts after you meet with the client? Or maybe you just came back from a retirement party for a client that you've had for 15 years, 20 years, and you're excited that they got to retire. Whatever those moments are, those are the raw moments that people don't get to see, where you're really earning your keep, right?
Yeah.
And so he was just saying that you got to put out that information. So it's just, I think it's really right. It's really about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, using social media as essentially the new seminar platform. We used to be able to cold call, right? Do not call list came into play in the late 90s, and that hurt advisors trying to grow their businesses. And really now, it's the lack of people using their home phone, right? The home phone is going to go the way of the payphone. I mean, my phone rings at home. I don't even know why we even have a home phone number, right? But we do. So whatever. It's,
I can't relate to that, but
well,
I can't.
Do you even know what a home phone is? Yeah. You're not that young. You're not that young.
No.
But that's the reality. So you can't even grow a business as an advisor by just calling people at their homes and pitching muni bonds like we used to do. It doesn't exist anymore. So what are you doing? You get on, take your phone, turn on the video, and start posting stuff about whatever it is you're doing.
At the very least, and you have so many different outlets to do it now. Way more than just making a phone call and setting up a seminar, or sending something through the mail. You can literally show somebody yourself via YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
There's so many different options out there these days, and you never know where you're going to get clients from.
You never know. So I have a client. I have another RT Syndicate brother. His name is Tyler McBroom. What's up, Tyler? He is a CPA. So most people think not very exciting. What can you possibly do as a CPA to post on social media, right? He has thousands of followers. He posts stuff online about tax ideas and strategies for business owners, and he gets clients from all over the country when he posts things. Clients that he never would have had a way of getting had it not been for him doing Instagram posts, and some of his stuff's great. He had a post yesterday about him just going to a conference in LA for QuickBooks or something, and I just talked about it when he was walking through the parking garage. I thought that was awesome. And so these are the kinds of things that I look at that everyone should be doing if they can do it. And he's just talking about his day, right? He's just nothing special. It's no grand presentation. Holding his phone and he's walking through the parking garage, telling about where he's going. And so, for those advisors that are out there, and again, I understand that you might be listening to this and you're at Merrill Lynch or Morgan Stanley or one of those other firms where your social media is LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is a really good social media platform, but it's not the same as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So you have to be able to figure out a way to bridge that gap between what you're allowed to do, because they have limitations on that stuff. So I recognize that. But there's no limitations on what you can do personally on Instagram or Facebook.
Right.
To, again, clients are going to Google you when they meet you, after they meet you. Okay, who's this guy? And so if you have your personal stuff on there and your LinkedIn page looks really professional, which it should, you should be do as much as the firm is going to allow you to do on those platforms. And if you're not allowed, then you should go on to use your Instagram and your Facebook or whatever for your personal stuff, because it's still a way for clients, potential clients, to get to know who you are. So I appreciate you joining us today with the penguin suit. This is all about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. I appreciate, maybe I should have worn the penguin suit because I would have really been uncomfortable, but because you're not really that uncomfortable.
We need to retitle the episode, Jumping into the Arctic. with
jumping into the Arctic. So when I'm doing video every day, I live in the penguin suit because I'm so uncomfortable. But anyway, thanks for joining us. We appreciate that, sort of a rant about being uncomfortable. But if you're a financial advisor or any business owner, anyone trying to grow their business, if you are resistant to the social media, I'm going to use the word trend, but it's not a trend, through the social media revolution, you need to get your ass in gear because it's going to run you over if you don't get along. So,
thanks for listening to the podcast, and find us on iTunes, YouTube, Instagram. Like us, heart us, share us, and
slam that like button. Give us those great reviews. Our reviews are climbing, which is awesome.
Yeah,
we appreciate it. Maybe we'll do another contest. You'll wear a banana suit if we get like 100 reviews or something. That'd be awesome.
What? Have a happy Halloween.
Take care.
Stay spooky.
Take care. I love you. Bye-bye.
Out there.
Thanks for listening to the Financial Advisors Advisor podcast with Frank LaRosa. If you're looking for more advice or solutions on any topics in the financial services industry, or you just want to subscribe to our podcast, head on over to eliteconsultingpartners.com/podcast.